Hello, galactic travelers, cosmic crew. What's happening? I have about 30 minutes. Today is December 18th, 2018, and I haven't even thought, "Hey Sarah, I've got about 30 minutes with you guys." I'm always jumping on right before I pick up my son. And I just feel guided this week to keep showing up and sharing and talking about this beautiful time we're in. Um, and today is December 18th, 12/18. Okay, so 12 plus 18 is 30. So that's a 3. And then we have 2018, which is an 11. So here we go. It's 3 a.m. I must be lonely. Right? 311, 311. Those other that 311, 711, all that's coming up. What I really wanted for the overall message today, 811, golly, 411, 311. I mean, I, I talked to I talked to Adina today, and everyone's just talking about these closing cycles, and her physical life, she dealt with a religious type sect, that powerful energetic figure that came at her in her physical, because she was closing up those cycles. So I just want to remind everybody, you're closing up cycles. It's on dimensional levels. Just be aware and make new conscious decisions. If it doesn't feel right, then just don't let yourself be forced into anything right now. That's it. Just stay in that heart space and focus, because what I really wanted to show up and talk about today is, okay, so it's a 3 energy day, it's 5 energy. We have Venus that now, is just now she's just fueled up, she's just getting turned back on with this creation energy, and I'm starting to feel a wave of it. So, not everyone will identify with this message, okay? If but if you have a lot of 9 energy in your chart, okay, this goes back to your numerology of your name. Hi Sherry, hey guys, hey crew, hoot hoot. Go back to, like, if you, and just even the numerology in your name, or you know in your chart, even, the different numerology that's in your chart. Trying to explain the 9 energy, because this is the wave. If you will, we all have, like, different dimensional settings within our seed, you know? So this is where a wave comes in, and this is where we kind of start breaking off, and we're doing the same things energetically, but we all have different purposes. It's like our specialty. And in whatever aspect of dimensions, our specialty is somehow involved with the weaving of these timelines back to original creation. When you have a lot of 9 energy, okay, when you have a lot of creation energy, if you are tuned in, or starting to be aware that you really are creating the consciousness. All right, and we all have this at some level, meaning nines are, like, a lot of us start mega star seeds are nines, because that's the 3, the 6, and the 9. The 9 is the chi, so this comes back to be CoCo Chi, and chi is energy. Okay, so you want to be the 9 always. Us star seeds have a lot of this 9 energy, because we were here disrupting everything. It's like we were creating the reversal of a lot of these patterns. So we have a lot of this chi energy. I mean, that's what a star seed is. Really, in essence, we're all getting hooked back into the chi. Okay. But when during this shift, those of us who have that nine energy, when a huge wave comes in, especially one like's coming right now, what happens is energetically we get pushed. It's like some of y'all are holding space, some of y'all are grounding us in water, some of it's like a lot of y'all feel like you can't move in these times. And it's like y'all get frustrated because you hear, these times that I feel like are this is building of a huge, huge wave that's coming, which is why I'm preparing with you guys right now. Don't get frustrated if you start hearing a lot of us nines talking about all these things that we're connecting, and all these things start popping off. Okay, and you feel like you can't move because you feel like you're holding so much energy and space, because that's how that works. That's how you're able to push us nines who are connected to your consciousness, that are just involved in doing more of the connecting in the physical right now, because then everyone's coming up. So what energy started coming in today is one of these nine waves that, through running through them in the past year and a half, I'm able to share with you kind of the signs of it, and understand what difference between how the 3D would lock into it and how we're supposed to lock into it, because this is what the mastery level that I'm at right now. And but it's taken me it's taken me some cycles to like get it. Okay, when this nine energy comes up, you're going to have a lot of new connections coming at you. They're all going to be divinely driven. This is why whenever I said, I mean, because we sealed off the time machine yesterday, we're all hunkered in. We're like, okay, let's connect, and let's bring. Holy crap, we made it, guys. We made it into the time machine. We made it through all that shit, and we made it back into the time machine. So first of all, whoop, whoop, high five, high five, high five. We're in the time machine. High five, high five. Holy crap. Can't wait to hear all about your journeys, because holy crap, we have a long time. We can be writing about them forever. These starseed escapades that we've been on throughout timelines of humanity, the books and things that are going to come out of this creation are just insane. All right, we're tuning back in, we're catching back up, right? And now it's like, all right, we're hunkered together. Now we're building this vortex. We are building this future timeline. So those of us that are the nine energy, that have more of that chi energy in our charts, which are a lot more that have the Syrian energy right now, because we just connected back into water. So a lot of, if you have Syrian starseeds, not just the only one. Okay, because this even goes down into numerology and your overall chi. It has nothing to do with starseed locations, but the nine energy pushes us. It's like we're the surfers on top of the wave, and you guys are anchoring us down so that we don't freaking get lost. Okay, so but we're tuned in with you because we're the CoCo. So it's like those. So what's happening with these waves, and they come in different spurts. You don't know how long they're going to last, but here's the trick. That's why we're hunkered in. We want to stay completely just in the flow. If the only thing you have to do today is pick up your son, okay, then the only thing you have to do today is pick up your son. Now, what do you want me to do? I can make a video, or I can do this, or I can do, like, what should I do? And you just kind of get in the flow. And then what happens is you're going to start getting, and all these ideas, you're going to start connecting with each other, or even just connecting within yourself dimensionally, and just within yourself, and all these ideas are going to be sparking off, because that's what's supposed to happen, especially if you're in nine. So it's like you have these different people that you start firing off all these ideas, because remember, thought creates the reality. So it's like, what I'm noticing is that in these nine periods, like CoCo Chi is getting built in these like little spurts, and it's all with the transits, you know? So it's like today, this energy started coming up. Oh, okay. Of course we wrote this. this is how this is, because we knew that the music was going to link in, but this is how it can link in, and this is energetically how we'll make it to the music industry and get, and start helping young artists and recreating that. I mean, because this is massive stuff, right? So it was like all these points started coming in. So I feel that 9 energy approaching. And when that 9 energy comes in, it's not only that, it's being aware that it's not only our current projects, but what I feel is like for a lot of us, it is. But it's also other dimensions of we're in this creation, we're in this new creation mode, putting the end to these stories and things as well. Okay. So it's happening multidimensionally. But the nines, we're like, we get more thrown into connecting in the physical. And where we mess up is that we get so excited when we get that first big wave and everything just starts flowing. I mean, it's like right now, I know Michelle Campen is building the Be CoCo Chi website, and it's going to be phenomenal. And it's like it's not like it's my project to where I'm like going, send me daily reports and let's see what it's going to look like. It's like, no, you were supposed to build this. You got this. She knows she's been, this was like a huge part of her destiny in some way because it clinked together and syncs. And I know it's getting built right now. I mean, you know, so that's how this stuff flows in. But what happens is a lot of the time, some of it is coming at you because you're wrapping up a cycle. Some of it's coming at you to test you again. Are you going to go the easy way? It's kind of like in a lot of our programs when we come in the liar and avatar consciousness, when you come out of a twin flame relationship, either false flame, twin flame, whatever, the flame that woke you up, that you learned your lesson from and that you're releasing in this huge Saturn reset transit right now, then all of a sudden you have somebody's going to come along that has all this money and is like treating you like Cinderella and is gonna, but you don't have any sexual connection with them or emotion at all. It's not even like that, but it's like in your hour of need, it's like the white horse shows up, but it's not true. And a lot of people get hijacked right there. I mean, because then they jump back into that relationship. And I mean, legit, it's like 9 or 10 of y'all, like, it physically has happened to us. I mean, it's like as soon as we come out, it's like this man shows up and it's like, here, you can have the world and I'll get all your projects started. And, you're going to do this and this and this, but you just have to be chained to me. So don't you see how that's like a seed, energetic, divine feminine, especially Christ consciousness, 13th bloodline, hidden throughout the timelines. I mean, wow, it's like Mary Queen of Scots movie's coming out. I really want to go is out. I want to go see it because it's like that is that lineage of that bloodline. That is right. So it's like it's so many different levels. But don't anchor down with those because those projects come and go. It's like you're in different consciousness levels. So it's kind of like the bridge is happening with your projects. And so what happens is when these 9 waves come up, it's like you're up in this consciousness and you're building it, you might even just build it one day. It might just be conversations that need to be had with the right people that are triggering them to do their piece, because we're all building the same thing, although it's just different perceptions. We're all linked in, we're all working together, and it's merging in the physical, but your human wants to hurry up and attach to it and not come back down. Understand what I'm saying is that you get thrown back into these multidimensional levels of your projects and just what you're supposed to be doing, even if it's just in your community, being nice and keeping the peace and spreading the love, even if it's that, understand right now that that's like when we go up in those that we're in a wave, so we're going to go up really high. Well, then there's dimensional processes that it's going to take for your physical avatar to completely build out that structure. Okay, which is, it's going to happen, but it's a process. So it's like when these waves come in, you get way out here, and then all these big things start happening. And then our human wants to immediately attach to all of it. Okay. Not understanding that sometimes even what we were set out, what we thought we were setting out to build, and the step that we took in order to get there wasn't even for that. Right. And so I battle with this, and so this is why I want to share this with you guys, because these wave times, understand that when we're in the nine wave, we're creating for the collective. No matter if you're only focusing on that part of your mission or not, this is why your mission has to be related to service, really, because it's like it doesn't have to be like blasting it from YouTube, but it's all about the one, because that's the energy that you're giving out that you're getting back, right? I mean, it can be funny and glitzy and comically and dirty and whatever, but it's still all a way to connect, right? But you're getting pushed out there and connecting a whole bunch of them. So be careful not to anchor and set expectation, is what I'm starting to say. Don't set expectation to all of it. File it away, take your notes, be like, "Okay, well that was freaking cool. I'm calling that in. I don't care how it needs to happen, but that's and so it is. Of course rewrote it to go that way. And then let's just see what synchronicity pops up." And and now I'm to that point where I'm seeing that happen, where it's like, I'm supposed to call my real estate agent because he was connected with Africa and building homes. For every home he sold, he built a home in Africa. So my soul's been like calling him energetically, because I want to talk to him about Australia. And do you know that I never even sent a text? A package that I ordered for Rex ended up going to my old house. I went to the old house, talked to the people that were energetically connected to him, because that's where the universe led me. And the very same day, whenever I got home, he had sent me a text going, "Hey, I was just thinking about that crazy experience we had selling your house and how we made it through it." And, right? So that's an example of how it flows in. Again, I can't even hold too much expectation about having to be in Australia in January for that thing, because that was my soul's hurry up to get it going. I'm definitely going to be going to Australia. We're doing all this, but do you see what I'm saying? It's like we don't set too much expectation, because really it's like, again, it goes back to that a homeless person winning $1 million. That's really psychologically what we're crawling out of. It's like energetically we're getting $1 million. It's right there. It's right there. It's what we would consider to be $1 million. It's all around us. But if we're homeless and we get $1 million, if you've been homeless for 100,000 years, or let's just say 6 months. Let's just say 2 months, 3 months. Let's say 3 months. You've been homeless 3 months, and someone walks up to you and says, You've done your part. I know you've been doing drugs and doing all these things, and you think that you're worthless and da 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 da, but you've done your part, and here's your check." And they hand him $1 million. That homeless person's gonna be like, "What? I can get a hot dog and a blanket. I can get a hot meal, basic necessities." All right? I mean, you can't go from being homeless from 3 months to buying $1 million house. You just can't. All of the process that it takes to even get it. It's like your mind can't even go there. It you have to, so it's like you get $1 million and a blanket. Then it's like you get to the hotel. You go to the Candlewood. Man, you've been staring at that Candlewood forever. You get to the Candlewood and you're like, "Holy crap, they have Oreos and they've got Starburst and there's like TV dinners." So you live there for like 2 weeks. Then you realize that, "Oh my God, I can go somewhere and they can actually bring me room service." So then you get there, then you're like, "Oh, well, I can buy a car. Well, then I can get an apartment. I can get a house." I mean, you have to step your way out of it, right? So your soul is doing that with you in your experience on these waves. It's saying, "Hey, this person's coming in your life. This is what y'all happen to sync up and talk about. It's everything that matches up. All right. Well, am I feeling like I should create something with them?" Well, realize whenever you're on the phone with them right then, you're creating it with them. You're creating the thought, you're creating the intention. I mean, it's basically like showing up to a meeting with the whole architecture team of your universe and their universe, and with the programmers on board. As soon as you have that conversation, if y'all agree on it and link it in, no matter what it is about, if it's closing timelines, if it's building new organizations, if it's saying, "Hey, let's just partner." Okay, so when I talk to people, I'll send them to you and vice versa, right? Realize that you're setting up energetic timelines in front of you for the energy to come in that way. It's not necessary for us to necessarily have this artificial technology for you to do it. Don't let your mind get assigned to that. We're getting divine guidance, right? So, but understand that energetically, when we have these conversations, we are creating and holding and webbing this together. And when we do it all together, that's why it's imprinting so much faster. But so that's what's coming in. So go crazy with it. Go dream with it. Create. Don't let anything tell you that it can't be like that. If you feel like that, then that is, if it feels awkward, then that's exactly what you need to be doing. And you realize you do it once, and then it's like everything that you hated about your video is what everyone loved. And it's the reason that you almost didn't launch it. It's so okay. So you have to do the opposite. You have to come realize that that's just that, it's that detachment instinct and letting go. Okay? But don't, be careful where you anchor back down, because we're in the time machine. We're fixing to take off. We're creating that web of constructs for us to shoot into. So this is happening on a project level. This is happening on a dimensional level where, I'm sure we're going to start getting called into the galactic, connections, like we do in the when we get the galactic transmissions in the Stargate. And I mean, that starting to come on, right? I mean, we're all doing these different pieces, but we're creating them. We're creating them brand new. It's not necessarily the history of anything. It's the culmination of it all, because we're completely tapped in. We're getting all the Akash that we need to make that decision right then. And don't let anything or anybody make you feel like you need to ask somebody else. If you get something in your brain that says, "Oh, I don't know that, so and so knows it better than me," or "This is her information." Number one, it's not anybody's information, it's everybody's information. It's just our perceptions of it. And there's a whole crap ton of galactic perspectives that are all merged in here to give us tons of different perspectives. So, right? But we're creating the new. You're creating, so, but don't let anything make you feel like you don't have the data to create in that moment, because you have all your lineages, all your, those little ping pong thoughts are just there for you to take a look at, to bring into your awareness, and to make a decision, and to discern. Okay, why do I feel like I want to run? Why do I feel like I can't run? Why do I feel like I'm stuck? Where is my, cuz remember, we're releasing all the black magic and the energetic ties that have legit been on our energy fields. And as we're releasing out of them, it's like, "Are you sure you're not going to try this right again? It's really, really fun." And I'm going to go clown on you. Ooh. And you're like, "No, doesn't phase me anymore. I'm good. Doesn't even scare me. See you later." Okay. So on those, but when you do discern and you're like, okay, and that you're not, it's not coming into your awareness so that you can release it. If it feels, if you resonate to it, then just remember you have all the guidance that you need. We are Christ consciousness. We are the sons of God. We are the full embodiment of the largest portions of that energy that can be harnessed in a physical vessel in this dimension at this time, because we are the bridges of consciousness on every level, on an energetic level, on a creation level, in the physical. I mean, within our relationships, within timelines, within all of it, right? So I just wanted to show up and talk about that. That's kind of what has been on my mind today. Anything else y'all wanna, trying to think if there's anything else. Um the seed stuff. Remember to turn on your community chat, the whole outing divine guy. Remember, hold on, turn on your community chat if you don't have it. I mean, I understand, but if you do, this whole outing has been divinely guided, and a front jewelry I forgot about that I wanted to see. It's like the synchronicities are freaking, and timelines are changing. I saw someone talking about that, like, legit 2 days ago, Sunday, I'm sitting there and I had, made a plan to get my son to this point and this kid to come at this point and this homework to be done at this point, and I'm sitting there with him doing the homework, and within 5 minutes, I am not even kidding you, every single message came in and every single thing changed, and it's like I had to reconnect just to make sure everything got done, but then just flow with it. But it was like that happened Sunday. It was just like this instant where we just shifted, and things like that, are I'm we're starting to be aware that they're happening right in front of us. But it's trippy, Maru and I yesterday when I was talking about not being able to find the peanut butter, that is legit. Like we're going in and out of dimensions. So it's like, even, this is why there are, I can't, I'm getting rid of my e-cig. I'm down to like 6 milligrams of nicotine, but me and that e-cig have had a battle. When I first woke up, I got it, all of a sudden I started losing it. At one point, whenever I manifested and was gifted a bunch of jewelry, in 2017, right after I woke up, I got all this jewelry. It was amazing, but legit, my e-cig, like I smelled ether burning and it vanished in my closet. And so it's like I have this attachment thing with it, and it's like that yesterday when I showed up to the live, I couldn't find it, and it was like, we all have these things that we're like frantic about, whether it's your e-cig or your kids or your whatever. It's like you feel like you can't walk out the door with it. Well, whatever that is, we're having to be like, make a conscious thing. If I had to walk out the door, I'd be okay. If you can't walk out the door and be okay, then it's gonna keep, your mind's gonna drive you crazy to keep looking for it, right? And so it was like right before I did the video, I had just said, okay, fine, I'm done with it. It evaporated already. I released it, and then I looked down and it's right there. But I mean, that is timeline. That really is timeline jumping too, because we go back in and out of where we release things and we haven't released things. That is the dimensional, you can literally see the shift in your life. And that's another reason, for me being on right now and this now, I know why I'm being such a hermit right now. Number one, energetically, because we're protecting the womb and the egg and this new creation. But number two, it's because it's I can see, I'm getting a different perspective energetically of how I affect people energetically, because I'm not around large groups all the time. And so as our energy is getting stronger and stronger, when I go out, and you're in such of that observer mode, and I'm tuned in that they're in my universe, not the other way around. I can really, really, really see the shifts that our energy can create in those audiences. And I'm reminding you guys of that as well. Do not let the energy overwhelm you anymore. If it was a seed thing that you were doing it, you had to protect it, but you're feeling a lot of anxiety because you need to start getting out of your house. And I'm not talking show up and go on YouTube. I'm talking go to the coffee shop and sit down at the coffee shop and have your coffee in the coffee shop with other people's energy around you, and stand in your sovereignty as an energetic being. If a lot of, a lot of you have really, and we understand, you had to back off. I'm getting a piercing in my ear right now, in my left ear. If you're getting a piercing in your left ear, this is for you. There was a reason that you were in there. There was a reason that you, with this one, 3D is falling away. The doot, doot. Start mastering your energy. Get your energy back. Go in there and be like, I'm going, don't let that energy affect you. That's only your mind. That's only you letting that energy affect you. You're stronger than that energy, right? And it's the same thing. If you're at that state, that's the same thing as that homeless person getting $1 million. That $1 million is your energy. You got to go claim it. You got to go claim it. You got to go claim it. It don't matter who you communicate with, it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter, right? You have to be able to walk in to any place and be in any situation and know that you are creating it, that you are holding the highest timeline for that consciousness, that anything that comes at you is not going to affect you. So therefore, why are you scared? That is lesson number one. That lesson number one can go to any dimensional level for any of us starting any of the spaces, right? We have to go through this process of realizing first we're controlling it. Disease, we're controlling it. Medicine, we're programming it. This pill's gonna help me. Every single little thing of detachment and calling back in that power. We're getting, some of us are stepping out of the coffee shop and now we're getting ready to get on the big stage. And then there's going to be another adjustment. That stage is going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. The constant adjustment, constant. Okay, I can own this area. Now I can own this stadium. I've had that experience. Now I know I can affect them. My mind's going to question it until I get there and do it. Or is it? Because if I step into that with the full knowledge that that we're all connected and that the crew is behind me and that I'm in the consciousness and this resonates and feels right, because I'm not doing anything that doesn't feel right. I don't care if I got to cancel last damn minute. Yes, connect. Connect. Buy each other little chi bites too. Doesn't have to be $55. It can be like, hey, I'll give you 20 bucks. Let's have an hour for lunch. Let's connect. Right? So, anyway, that nine energy, I feel like this wave is coming. And before we get off into the rafters, I wanted to show up real quick and talk about this creator Cancer, full moon Cancer, anchoring in all the energy of the 22 gateways, the 13th gate, Christ consciousness, connection, from the full energetic into the human. The galactic human is online, the birth of Christ consciousness, the birth of CoCo and the chi of the human plasma being online and connected. Man, we are all. I was on the phone with Carrie a couple of days ago for the first time, and she had Maroon Matu's daily playing in the background on a different computer, and she had it on pause. And throughout our conversation, whenever either of us was making a point, three times Maru, that video started playing, and it was always nothing to do with astrology. It was little like the birds, the blackbirds coming out of the pie. And at that point in the conversation, I was telling Carrie something about fractaling off. It was like Maru was in that conversation with us, right? So just remember that we are so connected. And that's why, setting up these communication points, it's like Maru has no idea that she's doing that, but her soul at a level, it's like those videos are playing in the background. So it's a channel that we've opened up so that that information is coming in, just like you guys see my live videos just pop up randomly, or maybe not at all for a while because we're on different energetic pulls, and then you get pulled back in or whatever, but right? So that's how strong you are. When you walk into somewhere, whatever strength that you put in and you think that I can do it, or whatever you feel like you're praising me for because I did it, do not praise me. Praise you. You can do it too. And each time one of us does it, it gets easier and easier and easier and easier for the next. And you just have to do it yourself. That's the key. So I'm so grateful for this time because the teachers that are being, we are the teachers. We are the teachers of 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 the teachers. We are the construct building. We're the nines. We're the ones that are setting. Of course, not everyone's gonna look at star seedology and completely resonate. That's okay. It's just a different aspect of describing the same freaking thing. It all boils down to the inner change that is going on inside. Everyone is going to take a little bit of my information, a little bit of this information, and now I'm being linked back to the historic esoteric astrology that I didn't even know that it was in my gosh, that it's basically what I took to build that with. That's the missing piece. Nothing old is concrete. There has to be a new version of everything. So let's create it, but know that that wave is coming in. This is my son's like bouncy chair. This is the other song that came up that I'm just going to say real quick before I hang up. Playing with the Queen of Hearts and knowing any minute smart. The Joker is the only fool who could do anything to you. Hoot hoot. I call in the highest timeline of all dimensions, of all space and time, in this now. And so it is. Bye.